Now we're going to look at the quadratic form type of other equations. And what we mean by quadratic form is something that sort of looks like it's quadratic, but it has maybe a higher degree, or it has another expression of x, or whatever the original variable is. So let's just take a look at this example. We don't have x squared. We've got x to the fourth with the highest degree. And then we've got an x squared term, and then we've got a constant. So it kind of follows the pattern of a quadratic, where instead of x squared, we have x to the fourth. Instead of x, we have x squared, and then we have a constant. So what we're going to do is we are going to rewrite this, and instead of using x squared, we're going to use u. So if we use u to stand for x squared, then let's look at what happens when we square x squared. We get u squared. Okay, let's rewrite this equation. So x to the fourth can be written as u squared. I guess one other thing we can do over here, if we take this exponent to the exponent, we multiply 2 times 2, and we get x to the fourth. So these two things are equal. So x to the fourth equals u squared. So I'm just stating I want x squared to be equal to u, and I'm going to use a u. And so then we have minus 17, and then instead of x squared, we write a u, and then plus 16 equals 0. Now, this is in quadratic form. This is a quadratic equation, right? We've got the variable with the highest degree of 2, and then we have got another term with degree 1, and then we have a constant term. So we can use the methods that we used in section 2.5 to solve this quadratic equation. So that means we can factor, we can use quadratic formula. This one is actually going to factor. So leading coefficient is 1. That means we can put a u and a u in that first position, and then we want the two numbers that are going to multiply to positive 16, and then also add to negative 17. So that's going to be negative 1, negative 16. That satisfies both of those. So that goes in here. Minus 1, minus 16. And then the next step is we're going to set each of those factors equal to 0 and solve. So we get u equals 1, u equals 16. Now we didn't want to solve for u, we want to solve for x. So now we do this replacement the other way. We're going to replace u with x squared. So instead of u equals 1, we've got x squared equals 1. And instead of u equals 16, we have x squared equals 16. And we solve those. Because they're squared, we're going to take the square root, remembering our plus and minus out in front. And that gives us x equals plus or minus 1, and x equals plus or minus 4. So we get 4 solutions. We can write them all out. X equals 1, negative 1, 4, and negative 4. And the u's go away. We just use the u as a tool so that we could simplify an x to the fourth to make it something that was squared, and we could use our method for solving quadratic equations. Here we have another one where we've got x to the fourth, x squared, and then a constant term. Again, we're going to use a u to stand for x squared. And then rewrite without x's and use u instead. So x to the fourth is going to be u squared. Replace that x squared with u. So we have something now that's in quadratic form. It has highest degree of 2. Notice that we can factor out a greatest common factor. There is a factor of 2 in each of those terms. We bring that out in front. We're left with u squared minus 2u plus 1. Now when we have a constant or a coefficient out in front, we can actually divide by that. If there was a variable included, this would not work. But if it's just a number, we can divide by it and it cancels it out. It makes it a little simpler. So we're just left with u squared minus 2u plus 1 equals 0 over 2 is just 0. And this is going to factor. It's leading coefficient of 1 now, so we know it's u and u. The numbers that multiply to positive 1 and add to a negative 2 are negative 1 and negative 1. So u minus 1 equals 0. We only have to do that once since they're the same, so we get u equals 1. We want to solve for x though, so here's we replace that u now with x squared. So we get x squared equals 1. To undo that squaring, we take the square root, and we remember our plus or minus out in front. Gives us the solutions x equals 1 and negative 1. Okay, this one also has a quadratic form. It's a little bit different. First thing is, let's add that 12 to both sides. So we've got x plus 2, that whole quantity squared. And then we have got 7 times x plus 2. And then let's add 2 to both sides, or add 12 to both sides. And so that gets us 0 on one side. So notice that we have got x plus 2 squared and just x plus 2. We're going to do a substitution again, and we're going to have u equal to x plus 2. So rewriting using x plus 2 as u, this becomes u squared minus 7u plus 12 equals 0. So now we get back to that quadratic form. We can either factor or use quadratic formula. So this is going to factor. That leading coefficient is 1, so u and u, and then we want the numbers that multiply to 12 and add to negative 7, and that's going to be a negative 3 and a negative 4. Set those equal to 0, those factors equal to 0, and solve. You get u equals 3 and u equals 4. But remember, we want to solve for x. So we're going to replace u now with what it's equal to. We said that u is equal to x plus 2, so this is going to be x plus 2 equals 3. X plus 2 equals 4. And solving for x, here we subtract 2 from both sides, we get x equals 1. Subtract 2 from both sides, we get x equals 2. All right, this one also follows a quadratic form. This time we will substitute, we'll use u equal to, instead of x, we're using t. So u equals t minus 1. So let's rewrite using t minus 1. Instead of t minus 1, use a u. So we're going to have u, or we're going to have 3 times t minus 1 squared. So that's going to be u squared minus 7 times u, and then let's add 2 to both sides. So we get our quadratic equaling 0. Now this might be able to factor, but let's practice our quadratic formula. So there's a little reminder of the quadratic formula. So let's write down a, b, and c. A is 3, the coefficient on the squared term. B is negative 7, the coefficient on the non-squared term, and then c is the constant, so that's equal to 2. Now, we're solving for u at this point. So we have u equals negative b, so that's negative 7, so that's going to be a positive 7, plus or minus square root of negative 7 squared, which is 49, and then minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is 2, and then it's all over 2 times a, so 2 times 3. So we got u equals 7 plus or minus square root of 49 minus 4 times 3 is 12 times 2 is 24, all over 2 times 3, which is 6. So that's going to be 7 plus or minus 49 minus 24 is 25. So we have a 25 under the square root. Well, the square root of 25 is this nice perfect square, so this is actually going to turn out really nice for us. We're going to have 7 plus or minus 5 all over 6. Okay, this is two solutions. We take the positive case, u equals 7 plus 5 divided by 6, and that's equal to 12 over 6, which is 2. And we take the negative case, u equals 7 minus 5 over 2, or I'm sorry, over 6 is 2 over 6, which is 1/3. Now remember that u is equal to t minus 1. So we're wanting to solve for t minus 1. So we're going to make our replacement back and say instead of u, we're going to use t minus 1, and that's equal to 2. So adding 1 to both sides, we get a solution of t equals 3 for that one. And again, replacing the u with t minus 1, we get t minus 1 is equal to 1/3. Add 1 to both sides, we get t equals 1/3 plus 1. And now we have the trick of rewriting that 1 as 3 over 3, because now we have a common denominator. And so a common denominator of 3, add across, we get 1 plus 3, it's 4/3. So our other solution is t equal to 4/3. So t equals 4/3 and t is equal to 3.